your voluntary actions. Every action counts, and they will come really handy on the Day of Judgment when we will be questioned by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And these are the values of these voluntary actions. These voluntary actions actually bring us closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The more you do it, the closer you get to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Imagine if you knew the moment and the place where you are closest to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The closest you are to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not when you are on top of Mount Everest or when you are in the International Space Station, ISS. The closest you are to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when you keep your head on the ground in prostration. When you are in that position, your head is on the ground in sujood, in prostration to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that's when you are closest to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam made it very clear. He said, أَقْرَبُ مَا يَكُونُ الْعَبْدُ مِنْ رَبِّهِ وَهُوَ سَاجِدٌ. The closest a person is to his Lord when he is in prostration. So that's when you are closest to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So what should you do when you are closest to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? No. Make dua. The Prophet ﷺ said, فَأَكْثِرُ الدُّعَاء. Make lots of dua. When you're closest to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, there's no distance left between you and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And next time when you are in prostration, think of it. Think of the importance of this. Think of the significance of the fact that right now you are closest to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There's nothing between you and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when you are in prostration.